let us discuss how to use file programming concepts. If I decide to carry out the programming using files, what are the steps which I'm supposed to follow? Later on, we'll merge all these steps into a programming concept, but let's study these individual steps. In the very first step, I'll say that we have to create file pointers. In the previous videos, we have seen what exactly pointer is all about. We can create pointers to variables, we can create pointer to a function, we can retrieve pointers. Much has been said about pointers in the previous chapter. Now let us see how pointers will play a role in making file programming. In C language, the compiler has got an inbuilt structure called as file. And I'm going to use that inbuilt structure called as file, which will enable the program to read the input or to deliver the output to a file. That inbuilt structure is called as file, which appears in uppercase. Do remember that this particular file is not a keyword, it is an inbuilt structure for which I'm supposed to create pointers. Now question comes, how many pointers am I supposed to create? It all depends upon the number of files which you want to use. If a program uses one file, then I have to create a pointer to that particular file. If I say that I am going to use multiple files, then for every individual file, we have to create a pointer. So you can associate any name. We know that pointer declaration will always start with asterisk. I'll say asterisk and then I'll say IP. File asterisk IP. So we can now decide on the file pointers. So file asterisk IP says that we can declare file pointer. Let me say one more pointer as asterisk OP. See here. I have created two pointers, IP and OP. I'm going to link this IP with one file and I'm going to link OP with this one more file. So I've created two pointers for a structure called as file. So the very first step in file programming is always to create pointers to file. We call them as file pointers. For that, we would always use a keyword called as file and then followed by the pointer description. You can say file asterisk F1 comma asterisk F2. Where asterisk is an operator which will enable the identifier as a pointer. So that pointer or that identifier which is associated with the asterisk can now store the address of some variable. Now, once the pointers have been done, this pointer has to be associated with some file. Assume that I have a file called as in.txt and I have a file called as out.txt. I have created two files, one is in.txt and the other is out.txt. And my task is to associate two pointers to this particular file. When I say I'm going to associate two pointers to the file, it means that the pointer IP, let me put a circle around this particular pointer, is now going to store the first block address or the address of the first location of this particular file. And let me say OP is the next pointer which will store the address of out.txt. I want to make this particular file in.txt to be pointed by IP, out.txt to be pointed by OP. Now how do I associate address? How do I get this particular value? For that, we would use a standard instruction or a standard function of a file called as fopen. Basically, associating the file pointer with the file is nothing but opening the file. So first of all, I wish to open a file. So you have to always use fopen. Now fopen will take two parameters. The very first parameter is the name of the file. Which file you want to open? For example, I want to open a file called as in.txt. Now this will always be taken as a string. So hence you have to put double quotes at this place, in.txt, and this as a string, comma. Now this is the first parameter. So I'll say in.txt as the first parameter to the file. So fopen is now ready to open in.txt. Now the second parameter is the mode of opening the file. what type of operation you want to perform on this particular in.txt. Basically, we can carry out three operations. One, we say we can read the value from the file. One, we can write the output of file. Or the other is to append the contents to the file. Appending is nothing but adding something at the end. If we wish to place the existing contents as it is and put some new contents to the end of the file, we'll say that we are performing an append operation. So the second parameter is mode of opening the file. So put double quotes again and then write the mode of opening the file. So here the mode of opening is R for read, W for write and A for append. Now what fopen basically does? Fopen will now open the file called as in.txt. So it will open a file called as in.txt and now allows you to read from that particular file. If this operation is successful, it will always return the address of that particular file, the first character address of the file or the address of the file. When I store anything in the memory, it will always have address. Who can store the address? Can we have normal variables store the address or pointer variables store the address? Right, pointer variables. So what I'll do is, I'll say this as pointer IP. So IP will now receive the address which is given by the function called as fopen with a file called as in.txt, which is now allowed for read operation. If you feel that you want to do some write operation of the file, let's try this. I want to open a file called as out.txt. I want to create, rather than opening, I want to create a file. So I'll say out.txt. So I'll say again fopen. What is that? I'll say out.txt, comma. What operation you want to perform? Write operation, W. And this should be given to which pointer? OP. I'll say OP. Now when a file is opened under read operation, as we did with IP equals to fopen in.txt read R. If the file exists, in that case it will return the address of the file. Now let's say a worst case. You might be trying to open a file which doesn't exist. You might be having a partial name of the file. You might remember the name of the file not completely but partially, since you say in.txt. You just guessed out that this file may exist. But unfortunately, this file may not be there on the disk. If the file doesn't exist on the disk, then what happens? In that case, it will always return a null value to the pointer. So if the operation is successful, in that case, it will now give you a null value. Right? So if the file operation is successful, it will return the address. If it is unsuccessful, then probably then in that case it will return the null value. The same case, if I say op equals to fopen out.txt, W, what happens in that case? If the file doesn't exist, it means that I'm trying to create a file. So assume that this file doesn't exist. So I'll say out.txt. So it will create a new file by name out.txt and now try to do what? Write operation onto the file and allows you to store the address of that particular file. Now probably you might say that this out.txt may exist already. If a file already exists, what happens in that case? If a file exists, in that case the file will be erased. What are the contents which exist in the particular file will all be erased and a new file is created where I'll start overwriting the contents for the first location. So basically, fopen with write mode will help us to create a file, whereas fopen with read mode will always allow us to read the content from file. Clear? So out.txt with read mode creates a file and in.txt with read mode allows you to read the file. If the file in any of the cases is successful, it will always get the address. If the operation is unsuccessful, it will always give the null value. Now you might question me that out.txt, if it doesn't exist, it will create. Then when does it return a null value? In a rare scenario where you might say that fopen has tried to open a file called as out.txt, but it doesn't exist. In that case, what you did is you created a file. If there is not sufficient memory, if there is insufficient memory, probably the creation might fail. So in that case, it will give a null value. These are the two cases which you should remember for fopen file. Now, let's look at the third operation of the file. So we have created file pointers, then we have opened the file, and we have seen that when the pointer receives the address, when the pointer gets a null value, right? Okay. Now, once the file is opened, you can now perform the operations. How to perform operations? There are two ways, two different points on which we can discuss about the processing part. One, we can read the contents of a file, or one, we can write the contents to a file. How do I read and write the contents to a file? Now, when I say that I have to read a value, in that case, the various commands which are used for doing the operation is fgetc. You can use fgets. There is no space between them, fgets. Or you can use fscanf. So basically, we can use these various instructions or various commands. Rather than calling them as instructions or commands, I'll call them as functions. These standard library functions will help us to do the operation onto a file. We can read the contents onto a file. So basically, we have these read operations. Now, if I say that I have to do a write operation, the various commands which we use are fputc, fputs, and then we can use fprintf. So all these commands will help us to do a write operation onto a file. In the next subsequent video, we'll see the detailed operation or the detailed syntax of these various commands. How gets, getc, or fgets, fgetc, fputs, fprintf all will work. Now, when I associate a function with the parameter called as f, it becomes a file instruction. When we started this particular subject, we have stated about puts, we have stated about scanf, we have stated about printf. All these were the input-output operations of the standard device. But now, the input-output is not on a standard device but onto a file. Since we associate a character called as f. Now, all these functions which I have listed under this section, they are all for normal files. If the file is in a binary format, in that case, we have some more functions. We have functions called as fread and then fwrite, where the file read and file write operations are done, where one data is not written, a bunch of data is taken and that will be written to a file. Or a bunch of data is read from the file and that will be stored onto your program. So basically, your read and write, they work on binary files. Remember, they work on binary files. They are not going to work on normal files, right? So basically, when we say that we want to do a read or write operation, we use these commands. Later on, we'll have a detailed description about all these functions. Now, once the file has been processed, we have recovered all the information which has been stored, or we have written sufficient contents from our program to a file. We've done all these activities onto a file. The last step is to close these files. How to close the file? The command which is used, or the function which is used for doing this task, is fclose. Now, what parameters does this particular close function takes? Close will take the pointer which is associated with the file. Suppose if I say that I want to close in.txt, what are the pointer associated with that? IP. So I'll say fclose IP. Similarly, if I close out.txt, in that case I'll say fclose op. So we close these files associated with that. It is always a proper practice to close the files before you enter the program. Even if I don't do that, the system does the closing operation automatically. But there might be a chance that while closing these files, the system may corrupt these files. So why we are allowing the system to do that particular operation? Why don't we close manually using the commands itself, using these functions? So these are the 4 operations which you are supposed to do in sequence to perform any operations on the file. First step is to create pointers. pointers are always created for the file, and file is a predefined structure in C language. Once a file pointer is created, second, associate the address. You remember that? D is for declaration, A is for assigning. So assign this address of the file to the pointer. That can be done using a function called as fopen. Fopen will take two parameters. One is the name of the file and the second is mode of opening the file. Once a file is opened successfully, your pointers will receive the address. If the operation of opening or creating the file is unsuccessful, in that case, the pointers will have a null value. So before you proceed the next step, you should always check what are the contents of this particular pointer. If the pointer is null, then there is no fun in continuing with the remaining steps. Because even though if you carry out the remaining steps, they are all obsolete because the operation of read and write doesn't happen. Right? Okay. So once the operation is successful, they get the address, and once the address is allocated to the pointers, then I can carry out many operations like reading or writing or appending onto this particular files using various commands like fgetc, fgetS, scanf, fputc, fputs, fprintf, fread, fwrite. All these functions, they work on file either to read or to write. So I have listed these commands which are used for read. Then these are the commands which are used for write, and this is working on binary files. Once the files have been read or written, then the last task is to close the file. So we can close the file by using fclose function. Association of the pointers is compulsory. I've not written the exact syntax because all these functions, they will end up with semicolon. So when we put these functions actually into programming, at that time we'll see how these functions have to be used. Thank you.